Thank you for your words, Fétine, but thank you for your actions. It is when we stand for Christ that we feel the most pain, but then he felt pain for us. And it is the only chance we have of saving our civilization and beyond Canada, our civilization, as we stand up and say, I will speak for truth. You did. Congratulations. And Alberta is the winner in this. Now, I believe we have a quick video to set the scene for the next speaker. Can we run it? Yes, we can.
The government is introducing another round of new measures to strengthen secularism in Quebec.
I think it's really important that our laicity model evolve with the Quebec society. We've made really good work in 2019 with Bill 21, but now Quebec's had evolved too.
The bill hasn't been tabled yet, but Radio-Canada has been able to confirm some of the proposed measures. They include a ban on public prayer, with some exceptions, a ban on religious symbols for daycare workers, a ban on prayer spaces in cégeps and universities, a ban on prominent display of religious symbols in communications or advertising by public institutions, a ban on public institutions offering exclusively religious-based menus, a gradual end to public funding of private schools that select students based on religion, and an extension of a ban on religious symbols for all workers in public schools to include all workers in private schools as well. Earlier this fall, François Legault said he wanted to strengthen the law to protect Quebec from what he called radical Islamists.
Premier François Legault is thinking of banning prayers in public spaces, including in parks and the streets. He said his government is analyzing all the options. That includes tabling new legislation and using the notwithstanding clause, if necessary.
You should pray in a place that is for praying.
Earlier, Education Minister Bernard Drinville also promised to bolster secularism laws in public schools.
You're in a classroom and you have kids praying in the classroom during class with the encouragement of the teacher.
Drinville is referencing a La Presse report on this high school in Laval. It outlined alleged cases of students praying in classrooms or hallways, in one case with their teachers' participation.
It is my pleasure now to bring to the stage Dr. Luc Angers. He is the president of Unité Voix pour les Valeurs Chrétiennes. UVVC is a Christian advocacy group in Quebec, speaking out for Christians on issues such as the public prayer ban, which you have just heard about, and the provincial laicity law, which you have also just heard about, that outlaws any form of faith in the public square. Dr. Angers is a teacher in public schools for more than 30 years, presently a professor at the University of Ottawa. He has also served recently as a Gatineau councillor, so a very good mix of the political life, the educational life, and of course the spiritual life, which is why he is here. Beyond his professional life, he is also the co-director for Promise Keepers, which goes by the name of Impactus in Quebec. And he is married with 2 adult children, and his subject this afternoon, the urgency to act now. Please join me on the stage, Dr. Angers.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you so much for your welcome. Thank you for this introduction. I want to thank the organizing committee for such a privilege as to presenting what we stand for as far as UVVC. And before I do that, let me just present myself. And I don't have the clicker with me, so if you could move on to the first slide. This is our acronym. You're saying, oh, another acronym. This is my family. So I've been born again for, 50 years and plus. 2 adult children, 30 years plus. I was an elementary, secondary school teacher. And now I'm part-time at the University of Ottawa, and I do represent also part-timers at the university, professors for now 10 years. So conservatives can do a lobbying group and a union work too. What is UVVC? What do we stand for? And you've been introduced to the laicity law, but believe you me, there's more than that. UVVC is a grassroots movement of committed Christians in the province of Quebec. And we do want to influence every sphere. Not just the political aspect, of course we're in that, but we want to influence the world of culture, the world of media. We want to also influence also the big world of business, because we want to be funded by those. But specifically, we're a lobby group, and we're trying to influence leaders, both on the municipal side and also the provincial and the federal side. So our objective is to talk to those that represent you. We want to have a free access. Also, we're an organization that strives and practices unity. Not just unity when we talk about unity and we don't do things together, because that's real unity. So we facilitate fraternities of pastors and leaders, just like in Dudaway, just like in the Ottawa region, so that pastors are able to speak to each other and do things for the community with each other. So we're not just politically involved, we're everywhere involved. What are our basic beliefs? And here's the nutshell of what we do, how we stand, how we can strive even in the midst of persecution. That's what we believe. We believe that the literal translation of Matthew 16:18, that Christ has come to build, certainly his church, as far as believers. But it goes way beyond. We believe, and in the Jewish mind at that time, when they were hearing the word for that, koinonia, mind you, it's a Greek word, it has a connotation with the public square in Athens, but also it's the Knesset. What is the Knesset right now? It's the Jewish parliamentary. He wants to build his government. Not just, and yes, we're all for the Great Commission, but the Great Commission is for nations. And yes, of course, it goes one by one. We believe in a purposeful agenthood in public life. And the keys are numbers and involvement. We want to have as many people, because the things that Fétine shared don't happen again. We need you that are seated there. We need people, ordinary people, and leaders, certainly. And we have a saying, if you're not involved in politics, politics will be involved with you in your life's outcome. And we believe in the principle of faith now, not later, too late in the spectatorship. What's our action plan? What do we tell our members? Here we go, 3 steps, 3 E's. They're very core. Everybody, members and sympathizers, can establish a local network. Some of you have 5 people, some of you have 10, others have hundreds, others have thousands. That's the first step, establish a network. Establish a list of 3 issues that bother you. They may be ranging from whatever, is bothering you in your community, probably provincially, and certainly spiritually. What is involving these things, and how can you, what are some 3 issues? And the third thing is establishing a contact, whoever is responsible in that domain, whether it's municipal, provincial, federal. We want to have a free access to those that are in power and to tell them. And if they don't listen, let me put a D there, change them. Organize yourself. Multiply yourself in local association, whatever parties, and do your lobby. You have a right to do that. Ultimate objectives for us: train up a future generation of politicians that will uphold our values. We need to get our guys and our gals there in the public square that's going to be elected. And I have an example for you, and she's right here. I believe she's right here, or she's in the lobby. Caitlin. We had a candidate in the Gatineau region in the federal election. Didn't know much about politics. Committed Christian. We helped her out. And imagine, it was probably, we were only 2 months out in the field. We were able to get, as a result, double our membership and a double of people who voted for her. Imagine if she had a year. Imagine she had 2 years of being and knocking on doors, as Fétine was saying. The result would have been tremendous. If you need to speak to her, she's right here. She's at our booth. How to connect with us? Very simple. We have a bilingual website, UVVC.ca. You can also hear about us. UVVC Outaouais, that's our Facebook page, and we are in on social media. Smallest gatherings, large gatherings. Sometimes we, at the beginning, we were more than what mainline political parties have during their annual membership. We had over 1,200 people. We want to get that back. We have partners, and we believe that partners in the media are very needful. LBS, Web TV, a French network. Le Réseau Chrétien Info Action, all French. They believe the same things we do. Campaign, Quebec Vie, that's a kind of campaign, Life Coalition campaign. Very, very active. And we partner, we do things together. They do marches, and we're in the march, and yes, we get the antifas, and sometimes we're being, insulted. But man, when I look at that, I look at the book of Acts, and I see, people that want to change the world, and I see persecution. I say, Lord, I'm living the books of Acts, and I get revived in my faith. We have Citizens Go International, good with petitions. Réseau évangélique du Québec, REC we call it. They were able to get a hearing at the laicity law constitution, new constitution being proposed. They were able to get a hearing. So the government knew about that. And we have Tommy Zito, who's the great evangelist, international. We get his support. Folks, we're at a crossroad. And I believe that even in a large group like that, there are people that the Lord is calling you to the public life. Whatever your age. I was recently listening to a women's meeting on TV with Huntley Street. And this lady was talking about Anna. She was 84. Still alive, still involved. Whatever your age, I believe in a large group. And sometimes I go to small churches, 10. I believe the Lord is calling you. If I could do that here, I would do it. I would do an altar call. And I would say, Lord, you're speaking right now to those that want to change Canada, that want to change Quebec. And I believe I'm speaking to you. The Lord is speaking to you right now. The Spirit of God is tugging at your heart and saying, come with my mighty army. In French, we call him le Dieu des armées. The Lord, the great Lord of the hosts. And he's calling us to victory. And part of our DNA, yes, is suffering. We can't avoid that. Our biggest two, and I'll close with that because I know my time is getting up. I'll close with that. We have two major challenges, obstacles. We have the obstacles of idolism. And I understand, like, people want to live the good life. And, you know, I could be down south right now. I don't need all of this. But I'm ready for battle. But I believe that apart from that we want the idol of comfort, we have, unfortunately, and Fétine was able to speak to that, and I speak to that also, but I speak to that very carefully because I know there's pastors and leaders that represent us. That's mostly in the cultural world. I go to African churches, they welcome me. I go to Hispanic churches, they welcome me. Sadly enough, I go to people who represent my race, and they represent my age. I'm going to be turning 67 next month. They don't want us. They're leftists. They don't speak out when people, your people that you belong to, are persecuted. Because they're saying, oh, it's the Lord is coming. I believe that's, yes, the Lord is coming, thankfully. But it's more than that. We're a people, we have a voice. We're the holy nation, not just spiritually. We are the holy nation, the Christian holy nation of Canada here. And sometimes we don't like that. Pray for us. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kind words. And if you're interested in going further in your calling to political life, talk to us. The room is full of volunteers and also workers. And I salute all workers from UVVC who are standing with me today. Thank you so much for this wonderful organization. And thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Angers, for those words. As I was listening to your call for involvement, you know, sometimes it is just enough to be the one person in the room who cares about what is being discussed. How many of us have held back an unkind or smart remark just because there was somebody who might have been personally impacted by our words? Well, sometimes if you are the Christian in the room, sometimes people will perhaps not vote a certain way, not argue a certain point. Be in the room. Thank you, Dr. Angers. We are now going into a 30-minute break. I would say, by the way, that Dr. Angers is one of many sponsors who have set up a booth in the gymnasium right across from the sanctuary here. I'd encourage you to go to talk to him, talk to all of the people who have so kindly and generously facilitated this conference by paying for it. Bless them. Go see them. Thank them. Fetch them a water, a cup of coffee. You know, be nice. This is also a time to visit the prayer room. And I would also like you to take a look at the book that has this funny little QR code in it. Now, if you're a QR code person, this is the moment when you are You can call it up and you can use it to offer a comment, an encouragement, or for the group discussion that is to take place later, you can ask a question that might be the one that is, okay, so here it is. Right after we have Laurie and myself take the picture, use it, get your question in. Do that, and make sure you get back to us, please, at 2:35 and start session 2.